Hi everyone, today we're going to be doing a chicken wonton soup, which is actually a lot more simple than you would think it would be. So to start off with, we're going to make our wontons. We've got 125 grams of chicken mince. We're going to chop the shallot, or the spring onions as they're known. Pull the outside sheath off. Cut that off, but not too right up there. Cut it close to the root, then round about there. Cut it in half, cut it in quarters, so it's really fine, okay? Because we don't want great big hunks of onion in our wontons. We want it to be really fine and delicious. And then come through like this. We're videoing this, please. Okay, that can go in the bowl. Then we've got water chestnuts. They are absolutely delicious, and they add a great crunch to the dish. So we're going to lay them on top of one another. They're already sliced. They come in a can. Lay them on top of one another. Come through and slice them fine as you can. Then lay them in on top of one another like that. Then come through this way. You don't need to peel the ginger. Cut it into slices first. And like the water chestnuts, lay them on top of one another.
So we don't need to peel
into strips? No, you don't need to. Asian people don't. I don't see why we should be any different.
Alright.
Lie them together like that. Then come through this way. Cut it as fine as you can, because you don't want to chomp down on a big piece of ginger. You just want it to be flavoursome all the way through. Have a look at that. There are some pieces that are a bit chunky, so just put them all together and do the rock cut. Heel of your hand on the end of the knife, sort of just before the end of the knife, and just come through this way. You'll find that it sticks onto the knife, so every now and again just pull that off, turn it over and chop it with the rock cut. Now it's nice and fine. Now we've just got one garlic clove. I don't think it's worth dirtying the garlic press, so grab your garlic. You can peel it a lot easier if you crush it first. It just comes off like that. And we're just going to chop that. Chop that up. Chicken mince, 125 grams. That goes in the bowl with those other ingredients. And you've got a container of soy sauce there. Whatever you do, pay attention now. Do not put that whole thing of soy sauce in there. Only 1 teaspoon goes in there, okay? 1 teaspoon only. Then get a fork and mix that through. Make sure it's really well mixed. I don't think it's going to need any salt because it's got the soy sauce in it, but you might want to put a little grind of pepper. What an economical dish this is. That's enough for 2 people there, 125 grams. Alright. We've added 1 litre of water to a large pot, and we've added enough chicken stock powder to make up 2 cups of chicken stock. And now we add some soy sauce to the cooking liquor, 1 tablespoon, and then 3/4 of a tablespoon. So it's quite It's quite salty, but I think it'll be delicious. Alright, now we're going to we need some egg to seal the wontons. So just mix up the egg. You won't need a whole egg, just half an egg will be enough. On the back of your recipe, let's all look at that now. On the back of your recipe, we've got a step-by-step pictogram of how to make your wontons. So we're going to lay those out. 12, you're going to get 6 each, which I think is fantastic. I'll just do 6 at a time. 1. Don't add too much, okay? Just half a teaspoon is enough. Use a finger, just a finger, to go along 2 edges. Fold it over. So you've got a triangular shape. Bring that round. Bring that round this way, like that. A little bit on one corner. Cross them over. And Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your uncle, Annie's your aunt.
Nice. And we're going to fine julienne that. Julienne is like matchsticks, but you can do a fine julienne or you can do a matchstick julienne. So I'll show you how you do that. There's a couple of different ways to do it. Because we're doing an Asian dish, we're going to do the Asian style julienne. Cut that on the slant. Cut that through like that. Trying as hard as you can to have them be the same thickness. Then lay them on top of one another and come through this way. And then that's an organic way of doing julienne. Cut the end off. Now, I don't think we want long bits of bok choy. Cut that like that because you're going to add this later. You wouldn't want to add that at the same time as that because this is going to take a little bit longer to cook. And also, you're going to add the carrots separately. So either put it in a little bowl or put it separately on your bench. Let's just chop it this way. That can go into a bowl. Cut this into large sections like that and leave that separately to add at the very last minute. Then we've got beautiful wombok, the most delicious cabbage in the world. You might end up with large slices with large leaves. Just come through like this. And if you've got really large leaves, you might want to cut them in half this way as well, so you don't get really long strands of cabbage that are really hard to eat. They go together because they're going to go in the soup at the same time. And we've got oyster mushrooms, delicious. Look how gorgeous they look. They shouldn't be dirty. If they are, just wipe it, just don't wash them. Just get a paper towel and then just slice those through. Stops boiling, turn it off. Okay, we've got our stock boiling away over there. That's on high. We're going to add our carrots first. We're going to put a timer on for 5 minutes. Once I've put the wontons in. See how I've put the wontons on a plate? They might stick onto the plate, so you've got to be careful how you lift them off. put those all in. Right, the wontons have been cooking for 5 minutes now with the carrots. Now we're going to add the vegetables that we cooked before. Looks like a lot, but it's going to cook down. Notice I'm keeping the bok choy leaves to the last minute to add just before we serve it.
What to do with these yet, so
Right, this has been cooking for 1 to 2 minutes. We're just going to add the green bok choy and then we're going to turn it off. Then it's going to be ready. Now we're going to serve up the wontons first, so we separate them out. 6 per portion.
Oh, sorry, so we should only put in however many we're going to eat, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first thing I did was I put 6 of each dumpling in the bowls. Yes, these should be lovely Chinese bowls, but unfortunately we don't have any. Now I'm going to separate, I'm going to divide up the vegetables first. And then I'm going to go with the liquid. Have it, wonton soup with Chinese vegetables. Delicious.